And that's an endless cycle of God. Everything that God has created, it has a seed to it. So if you open up a watermelon and don't got no seeds, that's something made by man. But if you open up a watermelon and it has some seeds, that's made by God. So this is how you know what's made by God and what's made by man. Everything made by man is seedless and soulless. And what is created by God has a seed and has a soul. Is that difficult to understand?
No, not at all, not at all. My question would be, what are your thoughts on the phallic cults, the papacy, the male-dominated cults, and pre-dynastic cultures, and how the matriarchy of the past?
Well, even you always have to have a woman, because even a female animal, when I said Exodus 34th chapter 19th verse, if y'all would Google the Exodus verse, Exodus 34th chapter 19th verse, if you would Google it, it tells you that even a female animal has a womb. So if you wanted to clone a sheep and you wanted to clone a horse, you would take an egg, and from that egg you would take a sheep's DNA. It could be dead, or the horse's DNA, it could be dead, or a person's DNA, it could be dead, and you could actually insert it into this egg. And then once that DNA is inserted to the egg, you can take the egg and put it in a female's womb. It could be a female horse womb, or it could be a sheep, or it could be a woman. And then that clone will grow right out of that womb. And if you don't believe it, you can look at 60 Minutes, and 60 Minutes will tell you how horses are cloned. And it will give you the process just like I just described. So everything needs a womb, a stargate, a portal. So even though the man is creating the whatever, the fruit, the vegetable, or a cloned animal or a cloned person in the laboratory, he still needs a womb to incubate it in a umbilical cord to feed it while it's in that womb. So man cannot give another man a womb or an umbilical cord to feed. That's why there's no doctor, no scientist upon the earth that can make a man into a woman. That's the biggest lie ever told for your $40,000. He cuts your penis off, that's it. You're disabled. If he grows breastises on you, those breastises are nothing but false growth, because they bear forth no milk to feed a baby. Just some cosmetic false growth. What is a false growth? It's just a tumor on your body, but it has no purpose. So a doctor can grow tumors on your body, but the tumors are not breasts. They don't bear forth no milk. They're nothing but a hard lump on your body. So you're paying the doctor $40,000 to mutilate you, to turn you into Frankenstein, because if he cuts off your penis, you have no seed to bring forth any children. You cannot have any children. That's the end. That's the end for you. The end of your line, unless you have other brothers or fathers still carrying on the name. So do not be deceived. Do not be deceived by these doctors, these scientists, these liars, these wizards and warlocks. Don't be deceived by them. You can talk to a real doctor and ask the doctor to tell you the truth. The doctor will tell you the truth. Get one that'll tell you. He'll tell you, we can't make no man into no woman and no woman into no man. It's not going to happen. Do not be deceived. Go on, ask questions.
Okay, Sophia, I have a question. It's away from the mutation and all the GMO stuff. This is more about your book. Because what's your take on, okay, I use the term reverse dream because as far as the matrix goes, it's like we're in this dream world that has been created, and when we go to sleep and what we consider as dreaming, is that actually the state? Like, what do you think? Is that actually the state that we are trying to get into, as opposed to what they're always telling us, saying how they say, you know, we die in the dream, which is something that's within the matrix. Like death could be something that they've actually given us within the matrix, not necessarily something that happens outside of the matrix, which is what we're trying to get to when we dream. That's why we have these nightmares with the fears to chase us back into this matrix.
A dream is just an illusion. It could be a vision, and if it's a vision, that means you can't alter what you're seeing. That means that it's going to happen the way you saw it, because you can't alter a vision. You can alter a dream. You can even die in a dream because you're not dying. It's just an illusion. Sometimes we have dreams to tell us to solve problems. You know, it's our brain that's giving us a insight into a solution. We dream for many reasons, but it is because of growth. It is not detrimental to us. But what is your question about the dream? Is the dream real, or is the dream fake? The dream can be real if it's a vision.
Well, I'm more equating it to the Matrix, because
the Matrix is only telling you that everything you see in this world is not as it really is.
Right.
That if somebody can create an illusion like Hollywood does. When you see the movies, that's creating an illusion. When you see Copperfield or Prince Angel or Houdini or David Bland, what are they doing? The musicians, all they're doing is creating an illusion for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The illusion,
exactly.
yeah, the illusion is not real. Like, it's just a mass hypnosis. You know that the elephant is still on the stage because you can throw some rats up there and he might stump you. Right. You know that the airplane didn't disappear off of the podium because it's still there. But it's called mind trick. It's just tricking the mind. That's why when you see things with your eyes, you can fool with your eyes, but your subliminal brain, it picks up the subliminal. It will pick up the subliminal messages. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, so, you can trick the mind, but you can't trick the soul. But that's what musicians do. Like in Hollywood, the Oscar goes to the best liar. Yeah, that's right. The Oscar goes to the best liar, because that liar in that movie has convinced you that he's a killer and he's killed all those people on the screen. He's convinced you that he's a doctor. He's convinced you that he's a lawyer. Come on, he's convinced you of many things. And the greatest ones wins the Oscar because he's creating the greatest deception. And you believe that. You say, wow, his performance was so real. I believed it.
Okay, so I guess more the question is, because I know that story that we seen on the screen as far as the Matrix goes isn't necessarily the way you wrote it. So I'm saying,
wait, why are you saying that? Have y'all read?
Because obviously they most likely they change the way the outcome of the story is, like Zion.
Listen, forget about Zion's. It's just like if you go into right now in a hospital and you kidnap several babies, you're going to change their names because you're a kidnapper. Or right now, if I go in your yard and steal your car, I'm going to paint it a different color. If I steal your Nikes or I go and steal your coat. Now, come on, that doesn't mean that it's less yours, or, you know what I'm saying? When you're adapting a book and a script to the screen, you only have so much minutes to do that. A movie is only an hour and 36 minutes, or no more than 2 hours and 10 minutes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So what I'm saying to you,
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh man, wait a minute. So what I'm saying to you is you only have so many minutes to adapt. You can't put a whole book on that. You guys never say this to J.R. Tolkien, which he's dead, Lords of the Rings. You never say this to J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. You never say this to John Grisham, the Pelican Brief of the Firm. Everybody in Hollywood knows that a book has more details. That's why people get the books, because they want to see what's missing or what's omitted. And sometimes Hollywood will blow up and throw stuff in there, heighten stuff up to try to get it to sell or not sell, depending on when they're creating, because it's a film. It's not writing. It's just a film. That's why people get the book, so they can get more details. They go see the movies and they go and read the book. The book came before the movie. The script came before the book. The book is not greater than the script or the book because it's nothing but a derivative. It's derived from the source. The children is not greater than the mother because the children are derived from the mother. The mother is the source. So what's the question?
Is the movie a proper depiction of your story?
Is any movie the proper depiction of J.R. Tolkien's Lords of the Ring? Is it a proper depiction of the Gravity book, the Gravity author's work? Depiction of the Harry Potter book when you see the Harry Potter movie? Ask yourself that question.
No, I know it's not.
Well,
Definitely not.
Well, what is it telling you? When it tells you that somebody's adapting, it's telling you that belongs to the author because that's where they got it from. And that they couldn't have created if they didn't have the author's book or they have the author's script. That all source work comes from a script or a book. It has something tangible. And that they would never have anything if they didn't have this tangible intellectual property. And did they get it correct? No writers have creative control. Did they get it right? Did they get it wrong? Did they mess up somebody's work? If you ask Alan Moore's V for Vendetta, Alan Moore didn't like the way they did it, but he's the writer of V for Vendetta. If you saw Cloud Atlas movie, David Mitchell didn't like the way they did it, but he's the author of Cloud Atlas. They got it from his book. Now, some authors like the way they do their work, when they interpreted it, and some are really pissed off. Now, you could have asked me that question. Was I pissed off or how did I feel about it? Because that's all you can ask an author. Because no author gets to dictate how his work is going to go upon the screen. That's why a lot of authors won't sell their work to Hollywood. Because they won't be able to get any creative control. They won't have any control of how their work is going to appear on the screen. But you guys didn't know any of this, did you?
Yeah, we well aware of that.
Well, all you can ask an author is, did you like the way they depicted your work?
So did you like the way they depicted your work? How you doing? This is
the way the first 3 Terminators came verbatimly. I liked it the way the first Matrix verbatimly. 2 and 3, I had to make it into a bad dream because they tried to kill out Neo and Trinity and they tried to change the concept to go in another direction.
How did you go about correcting the inconsistencies with your script
you can't correct a movie.
No, I mean to change for the Matrix 4. How did you?
You don't change anything. All the author does is continue their work. This is new work.
True.
This is new work. This is not nothing that they have anything to do with. They have nothing to do with the first, but put it on the screen, adapt it. The continuation of the work is the ongoing of the work. If you're Picasso, it doesn't matter if somebody steals one of your damn paintings and put their name on it. Hell, they can't paint a Picasso. So what does it matter?
Right.
All Picasso is going to do is continue to create. He's not gonna really give a damn about what you lied about or what you're saying or what you didn't, you know, what your interpretation of his work is. He wouldn't care right now if he read a book on your interpretation of his work. Or somebody lied and put their name on his work. That wouldn't faze him. Why would it? You can't paint a Picasso. It's right now. If Michael Jackson was still alive, he wouldn't give a shit about your interpretation of his work. Or you go online on YouTube and see how many people have imitated him. What would he give a damn about that? You're not the real Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson created those steps. You can't do nothing but keep on mimicking them. He's the only one that can take it to another level. If he was alive, he would be taking it to another level because he would continue his work. Did I answer your question? Or should I go on?
No, that was good.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Well, that's the truth. If Michael was alive right now, he wouldn't give a shit about somebody trying to imitate his work or trying to copy his work or trying to pretend to be him. Whoever you saw imitating Michael Jackson right now, you know it's not the real Michael Jackson and it's bullshit. You don't need anybody to tell you that. You don't even need Michael to tell you that. You can look at Michael's, what he created and what everybody's imitating and know that they're never going to be the real Michael or the real Prince or the real Tupac or the real Whitney Houston. You done heard a lot of singers do Whitney Houston's song, imitate her, but you know it's not Whitney. You know it's not Michael Jackson. You know it's not Prince. Come on. You done seen millions of people get up on the stage and imitate these people, right? And what would Michael be doing if he was alive? He would be continuing his work. His work would be greater than the imitations of his work. All you guys ever see is them imitating my original work. When you look at the Terminator 4 and Genesis, all it is retrash of the original work. It is not greater. It hasn't gone on to any level. So you already know the answer. Am I right on this or not?
You dead on. You dead on. You ain't missing none of it. So I asked you this. So being that you wrote those scripts so long ago, right? And being that the world is just now like sort of even catching up to your mind frame was at back then. You feel what I'm saying? We're not even there to the level fully to where you was at in the Matrix, basically. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so what do you see the world today and where it is as now? Where you at? Like, what do you see like going on right now? Because it's like you was ahead of your time, living time.
I'm still
like
ahead of my time because if you read Matrix 4,
yes, I know that. Yes,
you would already know that I'm still a visionary and still already ahead of my time.
Yes, I know you are.
Yeah. Yes. For years.
Yes. I know you way ahead of time. So I know you had to come back here. Like you coming back in time to like basically operate in these days. Like we so far like where like the massive is so far away from where your mind frame was at. Because for you to write that then and for us to be headed to where you was headed, where you was at then, we still headed to where you was going. And you're so far, it's like you so far ahead of the fucking of the wave. Like you the ripple, you the one who threw the rock in to make the ripple effect, basically, of the fucking world of like technology and everything, how I see it, because that movie is so fucking deep. And I know the person who write it, the mind frame where they got it from is the mind frame they don't want. That's the power that's the key. You feel me? You have a major key to life.
Where did that script come from?
It was a script and a book that they stole.
No, where did it come from? within you.
It came from my DNA. And that should tell you something about my DNA is different from your DNA. Because I was talking about digital downloading and barcodes and computerized warfare and drones, body scanners, food scanners in 1980. The Illuminatis, the Masons, the Trilateral Commissions, the Federal Reserve in 1980. While I was at USC Film School. I was already a polymathematician, just like Tesla and Leonardo da Vinci. When you ask them, where did their stuff come from? Where did their inventions come from? They're visionary seers. Da Vinci is talking about the Gatling gun. Tesla is talking about the wireless light bulb. He's talking about internet. He's talking, that's right, when he built the towers, he's building the towers for internet. That's where they stole the towers from. Why you have internet right now came from Tesla's. When you see the electrical car, Tesla. Just trying to tell you, I'm talking about the wireless engine and the hologram, virtual hologram cars with wireless engines.
Right.
It starts up with a vibration, the music.
So you brought
So
us.
Sophia, if I could ask you, I try to get inspiration and whatnot when I go to sleep in the dark and dreams. Like, what was your inspiration? How is it that you know what I'm saying? Like, I know you've got different DNA in me. How did you inspire yourself? Like, what part of your life inspired you to go into that aspect?
God inspired me. That's what inspired Da Vinci. That's what inspired Tesla.
But was it something in your life that made you go, you know what, I want to go into this because, or was it just a calling? Was it something
I saw Star Wars and I saw what Lucas was talking about Satan.
Okay.
He's talking about Satan, and I'm talking about the second coming of the Christ. I cracked the codes on Revelation. Revelation said that the Christ would come back, and I wrote the story, what would happen on earth when he got back, why he needed to come back. Doesn't that make sense? If Revelation says that Christ consciousness is going to come back on the earth, what would happen on earth to make that happen? Well, man creating his own children, man creating machines that would take the place of the living. That would be something that would inspire the Christ consciousness of God to come back and help the people, to keep them from being enslaved by mankind. Wouldn't that make sense?
It makes sense, but I kind of see you as that person, because if it's a consciousness that's coming back to help people, it's not necessarily something that we're going to think that was written in a book. Like, I see you as that consciousness, because like a consciousness, it's timeless, you know, and it's like us catching up to a consciousness because you've already acquired it yourself, because that's what you've been residing in. I see you as that. And because you say God guided you, I'm seeing that you are that person, that Christ consciousness, whatever it is, that is here to open us.
Right? What she was able to do is beautiful. I might be wrong, but what I see, what it was able to happen was she was able to capture with the real creation of what the scriptures that she was able to read, and she was able to create her new timeline off of it, because she created a new story off of the ending, which they had an ending that, so she created the beginning of an ending that they never even know how to do it. So she's the controller of time right now. And nobody don't even fucking know it. Through the control of her mind, she is the control of the time right now, because she created the timeline and the script that the world took accepting of, because she seen the script that they was already on. And so she just got on the script and on the timeline and was able to create her line and her script, her character, and her vision to be able to create her world. and make that shit operate. That is master. That is the art of DNA. That's the Akashic records.
Yeah, it was easy to do that. I'm talking about the Akashic records in the Matrix 4 book, but it was easy to do it. Let me tell you why. Because the Bible is divided into time travel, and they don't teach you that. The Bible is past, present, and future time travel. When you look at the Old Testament, you're looking at our old past. When you look at the New Testament, that's our presence right here, right now. When you look at Revelations, that is what one will become. That is the future, our future that no one can see. Do you see what I'm talking about?
I think I'm the only one that been saying that. I think I'm the only one that been saying that, but I digress. But I'm with you all the way. I feel you. But yo, can I ask you, Terminator? So when you made Terminator, when you see Arnold Schwarzenegger falling out the sky, is that the devil coming to the earth before the savior?
No.
What's that about?
I created that. It's a microchip clone cyborg, naked without shame, time traveling, coming through a portal, a burning blue portal. That's what you see. He's not falling out of the sky. He's coming time traveling. He's coming through a portal. And he lands
Ain't that what I said?
naked without shame.
Ain't that what I said? I told you. He was coming through the portal. He was time traveling.
Yeah, he was time traveling. He was coming from
yes, definitely.
He was coming from the future, where they sell technology. He's coming from the future, and he was time traveling, and he's naked without shame because he doesn't know he's a machine. They told him to go put on clothes. His only purpose is to kill Sarah Connor, Neo's mother, so she can have the baby Neo. That was the reason. Now you gotta go and you gotta think about this. You got to think about
that.
this.
That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. Miss Sophia Stewart, that makes so much sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Stewart.
Yes.
Miss Stewart, this is Knowledge for Ignorance, but my real name is Keon Reed. I'm from Michigan. Thanks for you joining us today. But I had a question, like, at what age, like, you know, growing up or whatever, did you consciously or was consciously aware of, you know, you feeling like that you was different than your peers or whatever, and at what age did you start like writing like stories and stuff? Because I know, you know, when people create things, like the stuff that we see, they, you know, prior to the stuff that's came to light, you know, to the masses, they worked on numerous things that might didn't pan out like they wanted to. So I just wanted to know, like, at what age did you, you know, was aware of the consciousness and your different way of thinking, and what did you create prior to the Matrix and the Terminator being stolen from you? And I'll fall back.
What did I create? I was creating numbers for that. I scored a 98 on the IRS exam, 2 points from 100, because it's all nothing but pure mathematics. I was doing taxes, and I was doing accounting when I was 11 years old and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
So did you graduate like high school like real early? So you pretty much was like a child prodigy then, right?
I am a prodigy. I'm still one. That doesn't end here because I'm doing stuff that you guys are not doing. I didn't do any high school. I took the New York Reasons and scored high in Reasons and went into college and got a degree.
Okay. Yeah, what I'm saying, ma'am, is like, at what age did you or your parents, you know, or family members realize like Sophia is different? She's gifted. Like, she's not like us, is what I'm saying.
They knew that right away. They knew that. But my brother and some of them already had gifts. My brother was already, when he was a teenager, taking engines out of cars and changing them from automatic to sticks, and from sticks, you know, to automatic. So that wasn't nothing unusual. I already came from a gifted family. I was doing music. I was doing sports. You see what I'm talking about? I won the presidential award. So I already came from a gifted family that was military and law enforcement. So it was a norm. It wasn't something that was abnormal. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Like you said, it was a norm, so you didn't know no different, is what you're saying, because that was just your surroundings.
Yeah, I thought everybody was the same. You know, there was no like, hey, you're different. You know, people recognize your gift. They recognize that you're smart, but, you know, and they recognize that you should be in another grade. Teachers recognize that. Everybody recognized that. You know, but it wasn't no big deal because I was around kids that were prodigies. Some of them became doctors and other things. You know what I'm saying? So it is kind of normal when you're around others. But when you're around a lot of people that are not like that, then it's obvious. And so I can't say that I lived the obvious life. It was just normal to me, even though it wasn't, but it was to me.
Sophia,
okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Go ahead.
Hi, Miss Sophia Stewart. This is
just Sophia. It's no Ms. because
I'm sorry.
married. I was married before, so that's the wrong title.
I'm not. You know what? I'm so sorry. I don't even believe in
that's
marriage.
okay.
I'm just trying to be polite and I'm nervous.
Miss Sophia is color purple, and that's not me. Okay.
Okay, I apologize.
I'm from New York, so you could just say Sophia.
No,
right. It's true. It's very true. It's not got nothing to do with politeness.
I'm from the West Coast, so that's probably why.
I'm from the East Coast, and we don't do all of that. We just
formalities.
Yeah, it's Sophia Stewart.
All right, sis. What's up, sis?
That's good. That's great right there.
All right, that's how I see.
Yeah, I understand that. and I lived 7 years on the West Coast, 4 years in LA and 3 years in Santa Monica. So hey, I understand East Coast meeting West Coast.
Yes, nice to meet you, and thank you for being here. And on the topic of what you're saying, the prodigy children, I want to know your thoughts about the indigo and the crystal children that you were talking about in the Matrix 4.
And I'm talking about them in the Matrix also. These are the children that are gifted. When you go into the Bible, the first coming of the Christ, they talk about these children. And these children are exhibiting unusual gifts. And what is going on? Pilate and all these people are looking for the Christ child. So you know the Christ child is special. And they're killing all the male children. If you go into the Bible, a lot of people have never read the Bible. And unfortunately, this is why some things don't make sense to them. Sometimes you have to connect some things in order to understand what it's all about. You go in the Bible, the first coming, they're killing all these male children that are exhibiting unusual gifts, looking for the Christ child. Well, in the Matrix, you see the children with the oracle and this little boy bending the spoon, all these gifted kids. Well, it's the same thing in the second Matrix. They're looking for the Christ child. And what are they doing? They're killing all these males because, hey, that might be Neo.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm talking about? That might be Neo.
Yes.
And what is Neo? Neo is an anagram, a sneaky way of calling him the one. Who called Jesus the one? John the Revelator. That's where the one came from. But you guys didn't know any of these facts because a lot of you have never read the Bible. Am I right on this or not?
Well,
no.
I want to say, can I just say that when I first started really looking into the Matrix, the only thing I could think of was this is a story of the Bible. Like that's all. And so I was like, wait a minute, you guys, because we're talking about it. I said, this is the Bible here. And I said, now the Matrix series, just like you said, the second coming, I said, I need to be reading this to my children along with the Bible, you know, it blew my mind. It blew my mind when I,
Well, you know why? Because the devils that stole the work from me didn't know where the inspiration of the work came from because they had never read the Bible. In fact, they asked me about the word matrix. They didn't know that the word matrix was a generic word, a 7,000-year-old word that came from the Bible that was talking about the woman's womb.
Yes.
They had no idea of that.
No.
Yeah, I'm telling you the truth. And that they had no idea that matrix was in the Bible and that it was mentioned 5 times in 5 different scriptures, 3 Exodus scriptures and 2 number scriptures. You don't believe it? Look it up right now.
Oh,
I
am looking at it because that's interesting. I want to show people, you know, especially people who read the Bible a lot. Like my mom is really into the Bible and she reads it a lot, and you know, I hear a lot about it from her. I've also read the Bible and stuff, but the Matrix connection to the Bible is just, it's almost like you can't have one without the other. At least
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly, because the people, the homosexuals, Andy and Larry H.O.T.C, there's no way in the world they could have wrote the Matrix. If they wrote the Matrix, they wouldn't be saying they turned themselves into women. Come on. They would not be homosexuals.
Right.
Because of Sodom and Gomorrah is in there. Sodomizing and Gomorrah is in the Bible. It's called Sodom and Gomorrah. 2 the twin cities that were destroyed because it was sodomizing and Gomorrah. That was on the Bible's book. It was against the law to sodomize because you're demonizing. You're putting shit back into the body. Shit that's supposed to be coming out of the anus, coming out of the sewer of your body. You're pushing it back into the body and poisoning the body and poisoning yourself through your penis tip. It's going into your bloodstream. This is where AIDS and STDs and E. coli and Ebola comes out, and hepatitis and all these nasty little things, because people get shit on their hands and they put it all into people's food, and this is where all of these diseases come from. And this goes all the way back to Sodom and Gomorrah. You can look at the old movie, 1962, is in color. Stuart Granger is the star of it. And it takes you back there, and you can see the women's twerking their asses. Miley Cyrus didn't come out with twerking your asses. They were twerking their asses way back in 1962 before the kings and the queens. I need to talk to you. And then this stuff that you're reading about in the news, there the computers are talking to each other. They're changing the language. That goes all the way back to the old Colossus movie, 1970 Colossus movie in color. You can Google it right now. Google both of these, what I'm talking about. Colossus movie. Google the plot and it'll tell you that the machines start talking to each other, because all these people are doing is pulling old stuff out of old black and white movies, old shit, and feeding it to y'all like it's something new. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's true.
Yeah. No, it's starting to become more obvious when we get out of their, you know, their hypnotized, you know, their hypnotism. When
they have hypnotized you with mass hypnosis, and you're right, because that's what, when they say they pull the Milli Vanilli and a Houdini on you, or a Houdini and a Milli Vanilli, because Milli Vanilli wasn't singing.
No.
Like Andy and Larry H.O.T.C and James Cameron, Gail and her didn't write anything. All they did was give y'all lip service, and all Milli Vanilli did was give y'all lip syncing. And Houdini mean they created an illusion. That's what Copperfield and David Blaine and Chris Angel and Houdini himself. That's all they do, is the musicians, the wizards, the warlocks, is create these illusions that y'all fall for. Right. And they do a lot of subliminals, and they do a lot with these movies, and when they fake ass news, and they tell you all of these programs they got on TV, like Ellen and the TMZ and all these other programs.
Right.
All they're doing is programming y'all, instead of you going and Googling and pulling it up and going to YouTube and looking and researching. You guys, some people are just taking the red pill or the blue pill, taking the red pill and they're researching and looking and finding out the truth. And the other one's taking the blue pills, just listening to the lies and going to sleep and being robotic and dying with a lie.
Yeah.
This is what's going on. That's what the Matrix, I woke you up. The people that are asleep, how in the hell can a sleeping person wake you up? Only a person that's awake can awaken another person. A person sleep and another person is asleep. How is a sleeping person going to wake up another person that's sleeping?
Facts. Yep. Exactly.
I mean, that's real. That's real. Come on.
Yep. It's real. It's real. That's why we're here. That's why I've been really comfortable loving this people here on this panel, because
well, you have never seen Andy and Larry Wachowski or James Cameron or Gail Ann Harrod on any talk shows. No talk shows talking to y'all and telling y'all that they wrote The Matrix and Terminator. Nowhere.
They can't. They can't.
No, because you know why? It's called a deposition. It's called a deposition, and you get caught for lying.
Right.
You get caught for lying.
They're saving their ass.
That's for real. Your deposition can be used against you in a court of law, and it can be used against you again and again. And to get caught on lying on television or on a radio show, you can play it over and over and over again and bust you. I've done over 4,000 media interviews, so if I wasn't the real thing, I don't think they need your help to uncover that. They got billions of dollars. They own a lot of media. They shape everything you do right now, so they don't need any help at all. So how come they haven't called me a liar and asked me, well, wait a minute, what part did they do? What part did you do? What part did you lack, or what part did you didn't like or they like? I don't see them doing that. I don't see them calling me troll names on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't see them filing any lawsuits against me. I filed lawsuits against them and won. But I don't see them filing, and I don't see them calling the FBI out on me for selling Matrix and Terminator. I don't see me on television at all being called a liar and a thief with handcuffs on. How about that? How come you haven't asked those questions?
Well, because I know Sophia is wisdom, and you're like the mothership of information. That's why your last name's Stewart. I mean, I really, everything that you're saying and everything that you've said in your books and brought to light, there's nothing that can touch you. In my opinion, there's nothing that can touch you. And I mean, I know I'm saying that in the sense of that's why they're not, in my opinion, that's why they're not, because you're just protected. I can't
you know why? No, you explained it pretty good, but I'm going to tell you exactly why. I'm going to give you the bottom line. Because I'm bringing the truth. Because I'm bringing the truth. There's nothing you can do about the truth. They can't do nothing about the truth. I'm just being real with you.
Yeah.
They can't do nothing about the truth. I told the truth. I can call them liars and thieves. I don't get no defamation or slander lawsuits.
So, Sophia, this is Fat Vegan Joshua from DC. And I wanted to know, you said that stories came from your DNA. So was you guided to that, or you just knew to go within from day one to find that?
When I'm talking to you, it's a natural gift like Venus and Serena have. You didn't ask Venus and Serena how they got their tennis gift. Hey, they started out early. They had a gift. Their daddy had them playing when they was in elementary. Tiger Woods was playing since he was 3 years old. I was writing since I was
let me get some cups, beloved.
in elementary.
I have no single cup.
Oh.
I was writing since I was in elementary. My first teacher was a college professor that taught at the college level.
Okay, and also when the whole thing went down, did they just take it? How did they end up with your script? That's why I was curious. How did they just end up with your script?
I was looking for George Lucas, and that's how they got my script and book. And if you get the Third Eye book, you can read this. You can look at the FBI documents. You can see the letters of access, register, return, receipts. You can see all this if you would read. If you would get the Third Eye Matrix book, you read it, you wouldn't have to ask those questions. Remember what they said? The whites and the Jews said they can do anything with black people because black people don't read. I guess they must be telling the truth, because I guarantee you their ass know what's in that book. I bet you they got them in their homes. But how many of you got the Matrix fourth book in the third eye. How many?
I got it. You know I got it, Sophia. I bought that day one when we started talking.
Okay, if you got it, then tell them what's in it. Tell them what's in the book.
The truth.
It's no, tell them what's in the book. It's 286 pages. What's in the 286 pages?
The story of what happened to you with this whole situation with your script. Like
My
everything.
script in my book. Why do you keep saying it's just a script? It's a script in a book that was stolen.
Script book, yeah. Sorry, because I'm reading the book now.
The script in the book. The script in the book. Everything is in the third eye book. It's 286 pages. It has a script in there. It's the book. It has the letters. It has the FBI documentation. It has the newspaper clipping when they first celebrated me in the news. It has the characters analysis. It has the graphics. It has the logos. It has the red and the blue pill. It has I'll be back. We'll be back. He comes back as 3 different cyborgs. So wait a minute. How come you guys don't know any of these questions? That's right, because you haven't read the book. I didn't say you didn't have the book, but you haven't read the book. Because if you read the book, you would know all of this was in the book. You would know it was 286 pages. You would know that Rolling Stone and Final Call and all the other medias have interviewed me and their opinions are in the book. I bet you didn't know that, right? Come on, let's be honest. Let's be truthful.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I have not read the book, but I really need to read this book and feel called to reading the book. Sean started reading first 63 pages of the Matrix 4 to us.
Yeah, the Matrix 4 is the continuation of the Matrix. In other words, the continuation of the work. If you want more Matrix, you would go out and get the Matrix 4 book. If you want to know the history, you would get out the Third Eye Matrix book. Okay. The Third Eye Matrix book. And it'll tell you the beginning of how everything began, how it was stolen, who stole it, what FBI agents came, what executives did it.
Wow.
James Cameron. I'm in the Wall Street Journal asking for his arrest because the government did not protect my copyrights. I was violated.
Right.
My work was copyrighted. The government allowed, they don't protect my copyrights, they're not protecting yours. They try to make it look like it was an issue, some other issue going on. But there was no other issue going on. They failed to protect my copyrights. Everybody in the foreign country knew this except for the dumb Americans. Dumb Americans did not get it. No, I'm being real.
Yep.
This is true.
I hear you. I believe it.
This is true.
Yeah.
They still haven't gotten it. You could tell by the questions y'all are asking that Americans still have not gotten it. And I'm not being real.
Speaking of America, in the first several pages that he was reading, he mentioned the Garden of Zion and also Hebrew. And I'm curious because when I researched the Garden of Zion, and I also have done a little bit of research on Utah. I'm wondering if that's what you're talking about. Is it Utah?
I am talking about Utah. That's absolutely correct. I live over there in Utah.
I'm just so excited.
Yeah, everything you've been saying is hitting points. I must admit.
Oh, this is great because I wrote down some questions and, I wanted you to get to that, subject so I can just, wow, that's blowing my mind because that says so much. That says so much. So what if it?
Well, let me begin to tell you.
Yes.
They've lied to all of you. There are no African Americans. There are no race. African American is a nationality that can be anybody. There are a lot of Jews, a lot of whites, a lot of Dutch, a lot of Syrians, a lot of Arabs born in Africa. And guess what? They're African Americans. How about that?
That's right.
So African American is not a race. It's not a skin color. It was created to separate and divide you from what belongs to you here in America. Right now, if you go to Africa, you can't even get in if they say they don't want you there. You'd have to take your ass back to America because that's where you were born.
Right.
I know some white African Americans. In fact, I'm kin to them. That's right.
So
they're white. They're white.
So would you say? I want to know your opinion on Judah, the tribe of Judah being actually Utah. Is that
well?
Does that sound like to you?
We want to go back to the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
They're nothing but tribes.
Right, right.
And the trait of the tribes tell you what tribe you come from. And when you go do ancestors.com, all they can tell you is the segment that your ancestors came from. That's your DNA.
Mm.
So some of your ancestors might have came from Scotland. Some of them might have came from Portugal. Some might come from the Congo. Some might have come from Portugal, or some from France. Or that's all they can tell you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's interesting you say that, because when the first time when you said it's in your DNA, I knew because I was talking about this to the brothers the other day. I said, look, if she's the writer of the, if she's writing these books and it's coming through her, because I'm Native, I'm mixed. I'm very, very mixed. And I've also done a bit of DNA research on my own self, where I've gone a little bit further than just the ancestry thing. It's interesting stuff, because it has led me to the creation story and this exactly what you're saying, Utah, the tribes, and all this stuff. So I said, she must be, her DNA, that said it enough for me, because you answered the question for me. It's in your DNA. It's in all of our DNA. It's just recognizing it. And you recognized it way before anybody, could even fathom it. And so it's just fascinating to me that how wow, I just feel so connected even more to what I've been studying, because I've been studying about the Hebrew, Utah, Judah, the Garden of Zion, Old World America, Jerusalem, America actually being older than they're telling us, in everything being backwards, or not backwards, but told in reverse.
That is backwards. That is told in reverse. It's backwards.
Yeah. So that really,
Yeah, go on.
Blowing my mind. No, my mind is blown, because there have been several researchers that have put some material together and shown the proofs of what you're saying, what you're talking about on I don't even know what to call it, because some people will call it the Aborigine, the Aboriginals, some people call it the Native Americans or the American Indians.
Well, what they don't understand is that people of color was around the entire world.
Right.
You didn't have to go to Africa to still know people of color. You could just went up north. It's like Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman was bringing them back from the south to the north, because they had been kidnapped and their names was changed. That's what the Toby and the Kuti Kente thing was all about. When somebody kidnapped you, they change your name.
Right.
If you came from Africa, they wouldn't have to change your name. If they went all the way to Africa and got you, they wouldn't have to change. If they stole you from up north, or they stole you from a neighboring country, they would have to change your name, because they're kidnapping. That's what that was all about. And they told us lie, because if they tell a lie to you, you don't know the truth. You can destroy any man that you can lie to him and he doesn't know his history. You can enslave any man.
Yeah. So, wow, I went thinking, okay, when you were talking, going back to like the GMO humans, or
yes,
for lack of a better term, humans.
They're not what we call GMOs, but I guess some of them are genetically modified organisms.
Organisms, right?
Yeah, because they're living organisms. that's been altered and changed. Go ahead.
So do you think that oh gosh, how do I even answer this ask this question? There's so many questions in one question.
Because I was talking about, well, think for a moment.
Yeah.
If a doctor go into an egg and he changes the gender of a baby, that's what you call gender bending, because you're altering something, you're playing God.
Right.
And you're creating Frankenstein. This is what the Frankenstein monster was all about.
And how do we know that that hasn't been done to us?
Well,
I mean, you feel it obviously in your DNA.
It has been done to some people.
Uh-huh.
Some people are hybrids here. That it goes all the way back into mythology. When you saw the Minotaur, when you go to ancient Kemet and you see a horse head or a Anubis, a jackal's head on a body, when you see a bull's head on a man, when you see wings on a horse, Pegasus, when you see snakes on a woman's head, Medusa, you know, I'm just telling you, it's been going on for a long time, hybrids, giants.
Okay.
It's been going on for years.
So they're obvious.
You can go onto the Bible, read about it.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with all that stuff. It's just, I'm wondering if they're able to disguise it, you know, enough where you do look like a human, but you are a hybrid.
Or you're a clone.
Or you're a clone, right.
Now, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
If you would go to 60 Minutes and go to YouTube and look up the 60 Minutes on the cloning of horses, in that segment, it teaches you about cloning, how horses are cloned and humans are cloned. But it also teaches you the trait of how you can tell a clone. All clones at some point, they start tripping out. And you actually see it in the documentary news clip. You see it was 100 and some horses cloned. Then after a while, all the horses, they're clones, they look in the same direction, or they move their heads in the same direction because they're in unison. They're not individuals. They don't have seeds. They have the same DNA structure. So that's what clones are.
Right.
Clones don't have any individuality. So they start mimicking. They start wilding. Go on YouTube right now and look at Eminem, the rapper, when he starts zoning out. Look at that guy Roker. Al Roker. When he's zoning out, they're clones.
They are. I've seen you know, footage of people pointing these things out and how the glitches, it's like they glitch or something.
Yeah, but I call it zoning out because they start mimicking. They go into a mimicking stage. If you would go to 60 Minutes and look on YouTube at the cloning of horses, you can really understand because they explain how what clones do. Because they have no individuality. Zoning out or mimicking or glitching is what they do.
Wow.
Living people don't do that. Living people don't do that.
Okay. Obvious. I mean, that's obvious enough. It's just.
So you're saying they're not living?
They're not.
Well, they're living tissues. Like GMO is a genetically organism. Organism is a living tissue, but it has no soul, no individuality to it, no seed. No independent thought. Do you understand?
Oh yeah.
It's a copy of something. Listen, it's a copy of something. It's a copy of something. Original means individuality. Copying means mimicking, because you're a copy. You're not the original.
How can you tell if something has no soul?
A soul is a seed. When you open up an apple and you see the seeds in there, that's soul. Because it's going to drop into the ground, it's going to grow, and it's going to continue to recycle. It's in a cycle of obedience, of growth. So it's going to come back again and again and again, like the tree. Everything that has a seed is just going to come back again and again and again. If you don't have no seed, that's a clone. It can't come back. It can't have any babies. It ends right there. It's the end for it.
So would you say that most actors in the industry, most, if not all of them, are clones? I mean,
I'm gonna tell you what I think. I looked at him and I kind of felt he was clone before he zoned out. I could tell that Dave Chappelle is not Dave Chappelle. Yeah. He was like a clone.
Dave Chappelle. Oh,
that's like I was just about to ask about that.
Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
Who?
But I was gonna ask how would they make a life-size clone of a life-size person? Surely they'd have to grow from a.
Listen to me. I just explained. Paying attention. I told you in the laboratory, all you have to have is an egg, EGG, an egg. And to take the DNA from a dead person or a living person. DNA means something that belongs to the dead person. It could be their hair. It could be their skin, or the cells in the hair, the cells in the skin. You could take the cells from a horse, the cells from a sheep, and take a syringe and stick it in the egg and put it in there. Then you got to take the egg and put it in a woman's womb if it's a human clone, or a female horse if it's a horse clone, or a female sheep if it's a sheep clone. You got to put it in their womb so the woman or the horse or the sheep can carry it until it's time to have it. Then when they have the baby, it starts to grow.
Yeah, I understand how cloning works. You know.
Well, you didn't sound like you did. Yeah. You didn't sound like it.
I do. What I asked is, how would they make a life-sized clone of someone who's grown? How would they grow it?
Oh Jesus! Never mind. Forget it. I'm tired of telling you over and over the same thing. I just told you a horse grows up to be a big horse. Go look at the 60 Minutes. Go look at that. It'll teach you.
I'm just talking about the celebrities and things like that, like say the celebrities.
Jesus.
So Sophia, what are you saying? What you're saying is that they may have had a clone going while this person was alive and like growing it at the same time as this person was alive, and then at the certain time that the actual person was killed or whatever, then then the grown clone is ready to go because it's grown already, all that's in the laboratory. Is that kind of?
Listen very carefully. The same way a woman has a baby is the same way a clone grows. Now, do you understand now? It doesn't matter if the person is dead or alive that they took the DNA from. DNA works whether you're dead or alive. So it doesn't matter if whoever they took the DNA from, because that's not the issue. The DNA works just fine, whether the person's DNA is living or it's a dead DNA. The cells is not dead. You can take them and put them in there. Once they go into the woman's womb, it's the same process the woman has if she's carrying a baby for 9 months. When you have the baby starts to grow as soon as it comes out of the woman's womb. What does the horse do? The horse starts growing as soon as it comes out of the damn horse's womb. The sheep start growing as soon as it gets out of the damn sheep's womb. Am I missing something?
No, man.
No, saying this. No, I'm missing something. Oh, hold on. Let me say, because are you saying that it comes out and it grows through the same process that we go through to become an adult?
Exactly.
Okay. Great.
And if you don't believe it, go look at the 60 Minutes on the horse. The horse is a baby coming out of the horse's womb. And it grows into a full-size ass horse to be entered into the race.
No, Sophia, we never said we don't believe it. I was just asking, you know, exactly what they tried to clarify. That's all I was asking.
Listen, I know what you're asking, but what I'm trying to tell you is something you don't want to believe. Because you keep asking the same damn question. I keep giving you the same answer.
Why should I believe something when I can, you know, learn to know it, or, you know?
Well, if you would go and look at what I told you, you would get a better understanding.
No, I understand that, but I just wanted to understand your perception of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh,
Jesus.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Sophia, I got a question.
My perception, God, God.
I had a question. I don't know if you mind if I butt in real quick.
Please butt in. I hope you're more intelligent. Please butt in.
Yes, ma'am.
My perception.
But first
That's
off,
the whole point. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. We want to get your perception, you know.
Oh, Jesus. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
Are you kidding me? My perception. My perception. Did I fucking invent cloning?
No.
Well, then, I don't have a perception. If I didn't invent cloning, I don't have a perception. Hell, I'm telling you the process of cloning. Yeah, butt in, please. Yeah, butt in, please.
I had a question, but it's cool.
Please butt in. I'm waiting on your butt in. Come in.
Brother, you're roboting.
Yes, I got a question for you.
You're roboting, bro. Come back in and maybe come out again.
Hey, well, while he getting right, I'm gonna ask my question. This Quentin, calling from South Carolina, 803 area. Well, you know what I'm saying? I've been researching it for a while with the cloning and the underground facilities and everything. And it's like,
What was your question, bro? Something old new you were saying?
Hold on. Quentin was talking. Sean. If y'all can hear Quentin,
y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can hear you. You good? We can hear you.
My perception.
Okay, well, what I was gonna ask, Miss Sophia, I was gonna ask, do you think there's like a higher race, like, you know, inside the earth? Because, you know, with them having all these underground facilities and the heart machines and Tesla and all this, it gotta be a higher power, you know, for them to keep manipulating everything. And then, like you said, if you can control the history of a person, you
somebody
know,
got a beat.
You can really, you know what I'm saying, control.
No, somebody's conversation. That's all you hear, the echo. Somebody's recording. That's all it is.
That was feedback from Joe from Cali.
But my bad. But yeah, that was my question. I don't know if you heard me or not, but yeah.
I heard everything you said. There's nothing but higher, lower. They don't got nothing to do with the beings.
Okay, are you geocentric or heliocentric?
I don't know, because I deal in knowledge, not all these words and play on words that are saying the same damn thing, but they just gave you a new word for something old. How's that? Does that help you?
One means that, you know, the Earth is the center of the universe, and one is that the sun is the center of the solar system.
Well, it doesn't matter. When you die, it's whatever it's proven to be or not proven to be. It doesn't matter right now. What matters is how you live and what you do before you leave here. If you're going to gain knowledge, knowledge is going to help others.
Wouldn't you say it's important, because it is gaining knowledge about the world that you live in, and it is, in a sense, if you don't know,
Yeah,
one
but
way or the other
how
where we
does
live,
body?
then if we don't know one way or
How
another
does
where
it
we live,
does it build a house for somebody? Does
yeah,
it
it
give
might
them
build
any
a house
food?
inside them.
Does it build no listen, does it build a house for somebody? Does it plant any food for anybody?
Yeah,
Does it
people
then it
people
does it
getting
benefit?
$52 million of the people's money for telling us certain things about it. They teaching our kids in the school certain things about it. So
Well,
it's
all
important.
you need to do
It's going to be true
is
or not.
learn. All you need to do is learn that people are deceivers, and you don't have to go
Exactly.
that
That's the
route. You
point
don't
of
have
it.
to. You don't have to go that route.
What route?
The route of deception.
Yeah, that's what the question was pertaining for, to see what route did you see it about? Did you see it upon the way that they taught us, or do you see it in another way?
Well, they've been lying to you for years now.
You say to us like you're not a part
Listen,
of the day.
I'm teaching right now, so I'm speaking in the universal language.
Okay. Yeah, because we are very aware of it. We're not part of the day. We're very well aware of all of the dates that you're sending out there. So I'm just wanting you to say when you separating us from the
Wait a
day.
minute, I'm not separating you.
Okay, cool.
If you don't know what the universal language is in speaking, and that when you're speaking to an audience, that's the rhetoric you use. It has got nothing to do with personalities or getting personal, because I don't get personal. It's not about you. It's not about me.
Yeah, it's not about it. I'm just learning. I'm just really just asking the question, really, basically. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that I'm aware of what you're saying, so that I'm not a part of the day. I just wanted to make that known. You know what I'm saying? So I'm aware of where you're coming from.
You don't have to make that a part of the day, because it's no contest here. It's not you going up against somebody else right now. You're not competing with anybody right now. I don't see anybody on stage competing against
Someone else
you.
that they have.
Sophia, I have a question about your book. I have one more question.
What is your name?
My name is Empress Lou.
Okay, where are you from, hon?
I'm from the West Coast. I was speaking to you about how the Bible, you blew my mind about the Bible related connection and all of that, and the Hebrew Utah connection. I have one question about, you mentioned in the beginning of the book about Eva, EVA, and I'm wondering, and you also mentioned Adama. So those are two separate questions, and I'm curious, is Eva an acronym or?
Yeah, Eva is an acronym, but I want to find out what she is from. It's in the Matrix 4 book.
Okay.
Now, what about the Adama? The Adama is easily explained.
Okay.
Whenever the Bible, people are talking about the Bible, they always reference Adam and Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about a woman and a man. But if you go into the Bible, they're talking about cloning. When they said that Eve is pulled from the rib of Adam, well, they're not talking about an Adama. Adama means a man.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about an atom, A-T-O-M, not an A-D-A-M, but an A-T-O-M, an atom.
Atom.
Because when you splice an atom, that's what cloning is. Right. So it was never, but the people that come from 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, they're thinking that the Bible's talking about a man and a woman. But that's called the Adama. But the Bible is actually talking about cloning. Wow. So it's talking about the atom, A-T-O-M, not the atom.
Interesting.
But the atom.
Uh-huh. And cloning. Wow. Oh my goodness. So interesting, because I know a couple of things about the word Adama, and that it's an Ethiopian word.
Yes.
And I've also heard it while studying a little about Telos, T-E-L-O-S, which is Mount Shasta, which is they call Lumeria.
Right.
And are you familiar with that connection between Adama and Lumeria? I mean, I'm sure you are. I want to know.
I've heard of it, but I don't Lemurian even existed.
Mm.
There's no proof of it, so I don't believe it. I believe that the whites made it up, give themselves a place because of Kemet,
Okay.
because of ancient Egypt, and they wanted to compete. But there's no proof of its existence anywhere.
And so, it coming from an Amharic word, what is the was that something that you wanted to bring also to the reader's attention, that the fact that it's an Amharic word, was there some kind of connection from that Ethiopian connection?
What Ethiopian connection?
It's meaning that it's the place of Nazareth. Let me see. Let me pull it up.
Pull it up. What place are you talking about?
Let me see. There it is. I'll just read you what it briefly says. Oromo is the language spoken in the Horn of Africa, and that is what they're saying. Adama is the origin. The word origin is Amharic, and Oromo. Oromo is a tribe, an Ethiopian tribe, and it's also known as Nazareth, and it's a city in central Ethiopia, in the Oromia region, which is near the Horn of Africa.
So what?
I'm just wondering if that was something that you had any connection with, because I know Ethiopia also was not just in Africa, but people have discovered that even people in the Americas were called Ethiopian. And
well, let me explain something to you.
Sure.
So many illusions stuff have been pulled down over that people are so scattered. They're so distracted. There is no Africa. Africa is a white man's name.
Right.
It's all been landmass. And the pyramids and the mounds are right over here in America. They're all over. It was not just in Africa, or what they call the cradle of civilization. They were all over.
Many cradles.
Yeah. So who knows? Kemet might be right here in America, the Garden of Eden, right here in America.
Boom, facts. That's
And,
what I've been saying.
And they lied to you and told you it was over there where the Egyptian pyramids were.
Mm-hmm.
Or are.
Right.
Because people will lie to you to get you away from the most valuable land. Because if something was more valuable, they wouldn't be pointing it out to you. A person that knows of something more valuable would keep it hidden and keep it to himself. They wouldn't be giving it away.
Right.
Why are they telling you to leave? And everybody around the world is trying to get into America. Why are all these people trying to kill and hustle to get themselves into America if everything outside of America is greater?
Exactly. That's what makes me think this is the old world than what they're telling us the new world was discovered.
I got a question, Miss Sophia.
Exactly,
this is Brandon.
Exactly. Yeah, go ahead.
This Brandon, Florida. So is it safe to say that nothing is really where they say it is? Like, it's just like, everything is illusion, but it's really on us to try to find out truth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even though it's agreed upon by the masses that this is what it is, but it's kind of safe to say that nothing really is what it is.
I would say, I always say that. Nothing is as it appears to be. I think you should always seek and search for truth. Not listen to me. Listen to no one. Find out the truth on your own. And once you find it out, nobody can lie to you. And everyone should try to find out the truth, not go what they're reading, all the stuff that they're reading, or believing all the stuff they're believing. But go out there and seek it and look for it. Research. Study on your own. Wake up.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm at work right now, so I'm just chiming in. So I don't know if this question has been asked or not. But is this reality we living in? Is this because it's out there that this is a hologram world we living in, and the real world is hidden behind this world. They're trying to keep our minds or our consciousness from elevating where we were no longer really like, I guess, try to stay in this vessel, but the real body, which lies beyond this world. Have you heard about that or known about that?
All I matter. What matters? Boom. And you have to have a body. And when that body is gone, there is no death. I know that much. And when that body, that transportation you're using to get here is gone, you have to leave here. So why don't you concentrate on why you're here and what you're supposed to be doing? Forget about everything else, because it really doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Right.
Your transportation is how you got here. And when you leave from here is when that transportation is destroyed or it's gone.
So the real me is just my consciousness dwelling in a vessel.
That's right. God's children are 3D. The first 11 weeks, you're nothing but blood, water, and spirit, the astral body. This is introduced in the Matrix.
Yes, it is. Yes, ma'am. I remember.
That's right. At the first virtue image. At the 12th week, that's when the soul attaches to the physical body. The body starts to grow, and then when a doctor performs an abortion, he's killing a living soul. That's why no doctors want to perform an abortion at 12 weeks. At 11 weeks is nothing but a period. It's the same thing that a woman has in her body when she's getting ready to have a baby. It builds up and gets ready for that life. Then when she's not going to have that life, it sheds out. It's called her period. She gets rid of the waste and the blood, and the astral body goes back to the plane, waiting for an opportunity for a physical body. Then when a woman is pregnant, he hovers around her. That astral body hovers around that woman. And then at the 12th week, the energy is the soul, is the energy, the vibrations. It attaches to the physical body. The physical body takes 9 months or 36 weeks to grow. So it'll come right out of the body and it'll come into the earth. That's why at the 10th month, the umbilical cord starts to disappear, because the mother doesn't need to eat from the dirt of the earth. Because what she's doing, she's eating from the dirt of the earth to form the body, the transportation.
Wow.
What does she eat from the dirt of the earth? She eats the fruits and the vegetables and the animals. And all this comes from the dirt of the earth.
Okay.
And it comes through the umbilical cord and it feeds the baby, but we're like little fish. For 9 months, we're like fish. We have gills. We breathe in the water.
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
why 90% of our body is water. That's why we have to drink water, why we have to bathe in water, swim in water, why the earth is a majority of water.
Yes,
we
ma'am.
we are of the air in the water, in the earth. We're 3D, air, water, earth. We need the air to breathe. We need the water to live. We need the earth to create our bodies, our vessels, our transportation.
Yes, ma'am. Do you think? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask, do you think the matrix or the womb is under attack as far as I guess you would say, I hate using this word, the powers that be, or the people that's controlling the paradigm, that they're trying to close the Stargate from keeping these souls or these.
Listen. It's not trying to keep the Stargate or close it off. All you can do is try to end life here, die, dead, make it dead. Because the moment somebody is being born, someone is dying. The moment someone is dying, somebody's being born. It's a continuation, a cycle of life. So if you have these test tube babies and these gender benders and these clones and all of these people who are don't want to have any more babies or have no more sex or have no more sperm or have no more life, you end life here. So Earth dies. This dimension dies.
Wow. So I would say, so what we're experiencing now is the precursor of what the Terminator and eventually what the Matrix led into, as far as like the machines growing babies.
That's right. The machines versus machines can't grow any babies, sweetie. They're soulless.
Wow.
They can't grow any babies. That's the lie. That's what I keep telling you. There's no doctor that can make a man into a woman. It's a lie because there's no womb, no stargate, no portal.
Wow.
Can't grow a baby. Can't grow a body. Doesn't have a stargate. Doesn't have an umbilical cord to feed. This is what the Matrix and Terminator is trying to tell you. The war against the man, the war against man. Man is the machines.
Wow.
It's the war against God's children, against man's children. The war against man and the machines. Terminator and the Matrix. The Matrix is talking about the woman's womb. The third eye is talking about the eye of God. Because on earth we have two eyes.
Yes, ma'am.
The all-seeing, all-knowing eye of God. Third eye matrix. The eye of God. The womb of the woman. And what is man? The devil? Devil is the Ebonic word for the evil. So who is the devil? Who is the devil? Man is the evil. Man is the devil, the evil that enslaves his own kind.
Wow.
With the machines. And he's trying to destroy the life of God. So no life can be on earth, and our earth dies.
Wow.
Now you're waking up.
Oh, that's crazy.
This is what I've been trying to tell you.
Yes, ma'am. I see it. See it now.
This is what I've been trying to wake the world up to.
It's subtle. It's almost like if you're not paying attention to it, you won't think it's happening. I'm not talking about from my perception, but like when you look at the world, the state of the world, the state of people, like they don't even see it. So it's like it's moving fast, but moving slow at the same time, kind of.
That's right.
So
man is trying to destroy life on earth. And how does he end life with the machines? Replace man with the machines.
So that's where the artificial intelligence. That's where the artificial intelligence comes in.
That's right. It can't have no baby. So why over there in the Arab country, you're paying it giving it a paycheck for what? It can't eat. It can't do anything. It doesn't need any money. Hell, it's the same thing as money. An innate object. That's all it is, seedless and soulless.
Okay, and I think I watched one of your last, I don't know, maybe like last year, you did a conference, but you were speaking about as far as what the future may hold, as far as like what we're going to experience with the holograms, technology, and you could be in your car and they'll know if you're doing this and doing that. Can you expound on that for us?
People, that in the future, the driving license will be a universal card. When you go to the airport to keep fraud from going on, they are putting in scanners now. That's why iPhone is starting it. That now your iPhone won't work unless it has your facial recognition.
Wow.
They tried it with first they started with the fingers, and somebody could cut your finger off. Then they tried it with the eye scan, and then somebody could cut your eye out, remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Now they're doing the whole scan of the face, the bone structure, everything, the DNA. So when you go to the airport, they'll have you, that'll be your passport, facial recognition.
Yes, ma'am. And you know what's funny? Terminator 2 talks about the chip. You know what I mean? Terminator 2, and then to me, that same chip that they showed in Terminator 2, based off that, that story, is the same chip that's in all the debit cards and credit cards.
They got that If you read the Third Eye book, I'm talking about the microchip.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm talking about the digital download, that the barcodes. They didn't that. The scanners, they got it from me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If you go to my book, you'll see. The books have the copyrights, 1980, 81, 83, and 84. Terminator came out October the 26th, 84. Matrix came out March the 31st, 1999. My
Yes,
book
ma'am.
and my script was already copyrighted before the movies even heard of it.
Even the drone, and I'm telling my brothers and sisters, even the aspect of drone that came out, that was, you was already talking about that before they even started making drones now.
I know. I'm talking about it in Matrix, E4, the continuations greater. I'm talking about the world, how your world's going to look in 20 years, 15 years. The new world that's coming.
Yes, ma'am.
It's in Matrix 4.
Miss
The
Sophia,
virtual penal system. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, it's Keon from Michigan again. I wanted to ask, what you and Brandon was just building on about the life and death aspect. Would there be any correlation, and would that be like?
Will there be a correlation? You turn into like
present,
a computer.
where do you feel that we should be laid to rest without being inside a casket? Is the casket dividing us from going back to the natural earth? You know what I'm saying, and replenishing. What is your take on that aspect of us being, buried in caskets? Do you feel we should be buried in caskets?
Listen. The natives used to bury their deads up in the air. Do you know why the natives used to bury their deads up in the air? Did you know why? I just asked you a question. Do you know why the natives buried their dead up in the air?
I think he timed out, Miss Sophia.
Oh, wow. Well, let me answer this question. The natives buried their dead up in the air. And why do they do this? Because they know the wind and the dust, their body is going to decay and turn back into dust, and the wind is going to blow it back.
Is everybody there? I can't hear anything.
And the wind is going to blow it back into the earth where it came from. So why do you need to be in a box? It doesn't make any sense. What happens is, when you open up the box, all it is just about a bunch of dirt in there. Did you hear what I said?
Did you catch that knowledge?
No. I'm sorry. You was breaking up. I didn't quite hear. Can you say it again? If it wouldn't be a problem, thank you.
You saying dirt as in dirt in the box, the casket, right?
I said the natives bury their head up in the air because that's what a body does. It rots and it turns back into dirt, and the wind blows it back into the earth where it came from. Because the mother ate from the dirt. In the casket, all you're doing is burying a body in a box. And when you open up the box after 20 or 30 years, there's nothing but a bunch of dirt in there.
Right.
You don't need to bury nothing in a box. You can put it back into the ground where it came from, like they used to do back in the cowboy days. Because all it did was turn back into dirt from where it came from.
Oh, okay, yeah. So once again, they pretty much
even the clothes rot back into dirt.
Dang.
Go ahead.
Right. So once again, with everything in this paradigm, the elites are trying to be a middleman in between us and the creator, you know what I'm saying, everything that
the buying the box they make money off of. That's all they were doing. Go research it. All they trying to do is make money off of you. That's it. Money. Everything ridiculous has something to do with making money. It don't got nothing to do with morals and principles or anything else. It's just there to make money. They tell you a certain thing so they can get your money. That's all shit. That's all it is. If you know the truth, that's going to turn back to dirt. Why do you need a box? It's going to turn right back into the dirt where it came from.
Everything is about that disconnection now. That's why the story is so crazy how you put it. Because when you look back, how they disconnect us. I mean, you just put it so clearly though, like, you know. And I was how old in 99? I was like in 20s still, so I really still didn't get it, you know. Like I didn't even peep the acronym Neo being the one until about like 3 years ago. Not acronym, but you know what you call it, the when you put the letters around, anagram.
An anagram. Anagram means it's flipped backwards. Neoone.
Yep, I ain't even peep it till a few years ago. Of course, I seen when they said the one, but you know, and then they made a Jet Li movie, the one. And
Yeah, because they tripped one before. When they heard about it from the Matrix, the third eye, the Matrix, they got it out of my book. It came out of the Bible. And John the Revelator called Jesus the one. They thought, well, this is so cool. Everything that they just hearing for the first time is so cool to them because they ain't never heard of it before. Go on.
No, I was just saying, like, so when they say there's no God but one, it's not that this mean that it's one God, but they actually mean like one as like a noun, like an adjective or something.
No, there is nothing but one God. There is only one. There can only be one. And let me explain to you what one God means. And I'm not talking about the many gods that people worship and all of this stuff. Let's get away from all of that. I'm talking about where God tells you the universal truth. He tells you the universal truth that there can only be one, and that's good. That's right, good, G-O-O-D. And all evil was taking this good energy and flipping it backwards. That's what evil was. L-I-V-E going forward, E-V-I-L going backwards. But it's the same damn word. It's an anagram going backwards. But going forward is L-I-V-E, just like the one is good. O-N-E, one going forward. N-E-O, neo going backwards. Well, neo, what is neo? Neo's nothing but an anagram going into the negative, going backwards. But a sneaky way of calling him the one. So God says there can only be one, and that man decided to see evil. And what was evil? He took that good energy and he went backwards. And that is what sin is. That is what evil is. That is what's bad and negative. Is that you're looking backwards and you're going in the wrong direction. Go on.
Copy that. Now, just thinking about this character in the Bible called Melchizedek and Morpheus and stuff like that, but not sure whether or not that had any influence on that, or was it something?
Look at the influence. Morpheus is metamorphosing, because that's what they do in the Matrix, right? Metamorphose. What do you think you do when you're coming out of the womb? You're metamorphosing. Because in the womb, what is it? What does a butterfly do? A butterfly is like a little worm, and he's edging on the worm. He goes into the cocoon, and when he comes out of the cocoon, he's a butterfly. He's evolved. He metamorphosed, and that's what man does. Man in the womb, he's swimming like a little fish with gills, and then he comes and he's in the womb doing this. He comes out of the womb. He's walking and then he's running. Then when he elevates into his fourth dimensional body, light body, he's flying, but he ain't Superman. He's levitating, the reversal of gravity.
That's smooth. That's gold.
Yeah, because this is what happens. It's more metamorphosing. All words have language.
So talk to me about what's her name now. Trinity. If that's like the portal, that's the womb.
Come on, Trinity is like an angel playing a role. And what is the Trinity? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, the Trinity. And what are God's children? Three-dimensional beings. And what is it? What is it? What is it in the three-dimensional children? The first is astral body, right? which is called spirit. The second is the physical body, and the third is the soul. What is that? Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. The spirit, the physical, the vibrations, the energy. The energy is physical. What? The soul is vibrations. You know what I'm talking about? And the astral body, the virtual body is spirit. The Trinity. 3D, three-dimensional children. God's children are 3D.
And I saw someone had posted a picture of Sarah earlier, and the Terminator was determined to find Sarah.
Well, the Terminator
was
Sarah. The Terminators want to kill the woman. The Terminator, here's the oracle prophecy. And it's time traveling to kill the woman that's going to have the baby that's going to grow up and destroy their asses when they enslave mankind in the future. So this is why the Terminator has to time travel to the past so he can kill Sarah Connor. What is he doing? He's looking for Sarah Connor because Sarah Connor is going to have this baby that's going to destroy them. And then what is Kyle Reese? He's coming for the future to save Sarah Connor, and he falls in love with her, and he virtually gets her pregnant. And then he goes back to the future. Now it's the Immaculate Conception. Sarah Connor's got a baby. Where's the daddy? Then he's a man child. He sleeps consciously. He's a teenager. He's got long hair. He looks unisex. Because I hit him out on paper because they're looking for all these indigos and crystal children to try to kill the Christ child. Because this child is going to destroy them when he reaches the age of 30 years of age. That's when the rebellion or the reloaded and the revolution starts. And Morpheus, John the Baptist character, come and nurture him and teach him the way how to fight and take him to the oracle for the prophecy. It's all self-explanatory. And you want to give this to some people, Jews and whites that have never read the Bible and don't believe in the Christ, Jews that don't believe in the Christ, and they don't read the Bible, they don't know nothing about this story. This story was hidden in mathematics, quantum physics, calculus, sacred ancient geometry, and it's black superheroes saving the world, and the white guys, the agents, are the bad guys. And the white man super movies, super science fiction movies, the white man is saving the world. He's Superman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Batman, and Rocky, saving the world. He doesn't need any help. He is the super ego white man saving the world, and everybody else is bad. Learn, and you want to take the Matrix and Terminator away from me? I don't think so. You get your first black superhero. Read the newspaper, the Los Angeles Sentinels. Go back into the archives and read the story on Sophia Stewart. Get the Third Eye book and read the newspaper clipping, and then go look it up.
All right, I'm kind of lost now. Who's the black superhero?
In the Matrix, the black people, superheroes saving the world, and the white guys are the agents, the bad guys.
Okay.
I get it. Because it reminded me of this game that came out a couple years ago. It's called Near Automata. It came out I think like last year or whatnot. But it was basically talking about what you're talking about, like the inhumanity, the machines taking over. But in the game, humanity took refuge on the moon, and they sent androids down to battle the machines. But the androids were like human, machine hybrid mix or whatnot.
They all want to copy off. They all want to copy off the Matrix. That's all they're doing, trying to copy and create stories after the Matrix. But the reason Matrix is so real and Terminator is because Matrix and Terminator is cracking the codes of revelations, and coming. It's me speaking and writing about truth. What's really going to happen in the future with man versus the machines.
Yes, and see, they
I mean,
send it
ain't it
to
like
us in
happening
the
right now
games and
too, though?
movies.
Like basically, like say, my mom died. My mom is not alive right now, so I feel like they done tried to kill my mom with the GMO foods, and they did. And I'm one of these kids that was gonna kill them. You know what I mean? Maybe not by myself, but through my words, like you with your words and your actions, and by spreading the word. It's like you're not here to support what they're doing. Like at one point in my life, I saw myself being a top athlete, right? Like some of the guys that's on here, right? But what I see in top athletes is that they have to sell out and like promote something like say Sprite or Big Macs, and they not eating that, they not drinking that. But the kids growing up trying to make it to where they at, breaking their bones, eating it and drinking this dumb shit, and basically you living a lie. So I'm wondering if my life went a different course, so I wouldn't have to promote that. So I could let people know, like, man, if you weren't even trying to make it to them levels, you can't even put that dumb shit in your body. You know what I'm saying? Or else you're gonna have a broken system. You know what I mean? So kind of get what I'm saying, or I sound like I'm crazy.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what
Yeah, man. But I feel like just them guys, a lot of them just get used, or like you said, like their soul, either like they take their soul away, like strip it down to there's nothing there. You know what I mean? Like say a Mike Tyson or somebody that has this raw talent, you just mold them or mold them in a way that they can't really grow and metamorphosize. You know what I mean? Or just use them as a tool or something. Oh.
Yes, but I told people what's going on. This is the Matrix Terminator. People did not give you the Matrix Terminator. That's why you haven't seen anything for 15 years except for my books. The very reason you haven't.
When it comes to this world and what we see now with Trump being president and this U.S. and this cryptocurrency and basically like you said, things that you put out years ago is being revealed now. Like what do you see us like happening over the course of the next 10, 20 years with
Well, it's all in the Matrix 4 book. You have to get the book and read it. It's right there in the Matrix 4 book, what's getting ready to happen. And it's real.
Sophia, have you thought of a comic book adaptation to your book?
I thought about comic books back in 1980. That's how people got to steal my work, copyrighted work in the first place, because I was already way ahead.
So what do artists like you supposed to do to protect themselves today?
You do the same thing over and over. You got the receipt to your Nikes, but that didn't stop them from stealing it, did it? And you got the deed to the house, and that didn't stop some bankers from stealing your mom's house, did it? And you got the title to the car, but that didn't stop the car thieves from stealing your car, did it?
Nope.
Well, then there is no protection against theft. There's no protection against death. If somebody wants to kill you, they can just come up and kill you, unless God says it ain't gonna happen. And God has set a time on you from birth to death, and He said it's not gonna happen. Then that's it. You can't do anything against what people do. But let's understand this: they pay for what they do. Whatever they do, they pay for it. You ain't gonna pay for it, and you can't reap off of something bad happening to somebody. You can't reap off. I don't care if you're a criminal and they lie to you. They tell you to go out there and rob a bank and you can get away with it, because you won't be able to get away with it. You won't be able to reap off of it, okay? That's the biggest lie that was ever told to get you to do something.
I understand that. But
all you can do is copyright your work But you can't make the FBI and the DOJ do their jobs where they protect certain people, they don't protect you. That's something you might want to think about. You know, went out and paid for the copyrights, but who upholds that law to protecting your copyrights? If you go steal anything from the studio right now, I guarantee you the feds will be locking your ass up in a New York minute. You walk into a movie theater with Google glasses on, they're going to lock you up. You do a filming and you get caught, they're going to lock you up. You go out there and peddle some tape, bootleg tapes of music and DVDs or CDs, they're going to lock your ass up. How's that? Does that spell it out for you? So the same protection that they give the corporations and the banks and the studios, that's what they need to do for the people. And who make that happen? The people have to make that happen. They have to say something. We want equal protection. And that's how you know that I own the Matrix and Terminator, because I'm selling it. You don't see them locking my ass up. Okay, do you get it now? So I've already taught you something, that if it's yours and somebody steal it from you, then you can reap off it because it belongs to you.
Okay, but how do you go about proving that it's yours? Because what I go back to thinking is your original idea was from the Bible.
You already proved it, that it was yours. No, it ain't from the Bible. The Bible has its own words and expression. And when you write something that is different, that's your words and expression. Because there's no hologram clones in the Bible. There's no virtual image in the Bible. There's no body scanner, food scanners in the Bible. If it is, show it to me. If you see a Terminator in there, show it to me. There's time traveling. And a red and the blue pill.
Okay.
Show it to me. Okay?
No, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, sis.
It's a form of it. No, listen. It's a form of expression. That is what the copyrights protect. That is what makes it yours. Not no ideas, but what you wrote. A script and a book.
Right. I
graphics,
understand what you're saying.
Special effects, characters.
My next question is, what makes your case that you had with the brothers, did they take verbatim, like they actually did, right? Took
if you go right now, go and look at the Library of Congress, you won't see nothing written by them in there. You ain't never read nothing they wrote ever. They don't got no books out. They don't got nothing in the Library of Congress. Neither does James Cameron. They don't own
they don't have no portfolio.
They don't have shit in there. They don't even have a copyright.
Okay.
How do I know? Because I can send it over to you. Email me, send it to you, and you can look at it. What's entered into the courts. They don't have nothing. Why you think I won?
So they just came out of nowhere, pretty much, with that idea. They didn't
come out pretty much nowhere. They use source work. They use my script and my book, my characters, my graphics, my special effects, my plot, my concept. You can't come out of nowhere with nothing. Hell, when the writers go on strike, you get the Smurf, you get the Three Stooges, you get King Kong, you get Tarzan. What's wrong with you? Hell, if the writers are not writing, hell, why would you need the writers if you can pull it out of your ass? What do you need writers for? If you can just get it out of the air. If it comes out of nowhere.
This happens across the industry everywhere, right?
What happens?
These ideas.
There are no ideas. The idea thought. They steal scripts and books. They're called source work. You can't steal somebody's damn thoughts. That's what an idea is, a thought.
Right. So they take
and a thought has to become something materialized. What is the material stuff? It's a script or a book.
So they take the source code and creating something from that.
Well, you can't create nothing if you're an architect and you build the damn Brooklyn Bridge. You have to have a damn blueprint in order for the damn contractor to build the damn bridge. If the architect don't build the blueprint, what the hell is the little worker ants and little worker bees are gonna do? If there's no damn blueprint, what is the damn contractor gonna do? If it ain't no damn blueprint, what does the architect and the engineer do? The engineer has the blueprints for the damn car. What the people on the assembly line, they can't build the damn car if it ain't no blueprint by the engineer.
So inevitably, they took the source code, and the source code was pretty much your script. But your script was like the machine code language, which was the Bible. That's where your inspiration came from.
Hey, let me tell you something. Why don't you go and tell the fucking architect that built the Brooklyn Bridge that shit and see what he tells you? And why don't you go tell the engineers that created the damn car you're driving? Go tell him that, okay, and see what the hell he tells you. And won't you go tell John Grisham that bullshit and see what he tells you? I'm serious. Go tell him that. I would love to hear you.
I'm not following you, sis. I'm not following you.
I would know. Hey, you're never gonna follow because you don't understand what I just told you. I just told you something really deep. I told you that the architect is the creator of that building that you see downtown that you're looking at. It wasn't the contractor and the little worker ants and the little worker bees, okay? They didn't build the building. They just came in and brought the material and followed the blueprint. The assembly line over there, if you're in Detroit and they making cars, a GM or Dodge or Chrysler, those little worker ants and little worker bees, they're following a blueprint to put your car that you're driving right now together. But they're not the creator of your car, okay? That's what a movie is. When you see a movie, it's people with the cameras and the mics and the casting of, these are little worker ants and little worker bees. But if they don't follow, the director don't follow the script, then you won't have a film, okay?
Oh yeah, we follow.
Well, I have to teach because hell, nobody's taught. Seems like they taught you guys this. Or y'all got it or y'all heard it, y'all didn't understand what was going on. Something is missing somewhere. Because that's why they said that this architect, this guy built the Taj Mahal. They don't say the little damn worker ants and bees that got up on there and start putting it together built it. Go Google it real quick and see what they say was the architect that built the Taj Mahal or the one that built the Eiffel Tower. That's a good one. No. What about the one that built the Statue of Liberty? Was it the contractors that built it or was it the architect that created it? Go in there and Google it and see what they say. See if they gave credit to the contractors. I'm cracking up laughing.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You talking real talk though. You talking real talk. Real talk. Cause I mean, like I do electrical work for a living or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? I make lights and you absolutely right. It all start with the blueprint. Without the blueprint, hey, we don't know, you know what I'm saying, which
You
light
ain't got nothing. That's right. You won't have nothing. Every inventor, you go to the trademark office right now, every inventor who has ever created a chair, who has ever created a fan, a light bulb, or whatever, they got their little bitty example of their work in the blueprint. And they got a working model, because they have to put a working model in there at the trademark office to show people how it looked and how it worked. And then manufacturers and companies come and they start mass producing from the blueprint and from the model. And that's called the script in the book. Okay?
And the Bible was your inspiration to your script, correct?
The Bible, God was my inspiration. G-O-D,
So
God
the
was
Bible
my
is
inspiration.
the word of God, right?
I didn't say the Bible was my inspiration. I said God was my inspiration. Now, you want to use your words or do you want my words?
I don't.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Because when you go in my book, The third eye book, it says that my work and my inspiration came from God.
And
is your work not in words?
Go look and see what I'm saying in my book.
Is your work not written in words?
My work is done in numbers. Every letter stands for a number. A is for 1, F is for 5. There are no words. Words are nothing but symbols that stands for numbers. The whole universal language of the whole world is mathematics. You have a birth certificate. You have a driving license. You have a license plate. You have a home address. You have a driving license. Everything is nothing but numbers. Everywhere you look is nothing but numbers.
The Bible's written in numbers as well.
Well, that's what I just said. But you said about words. You just brought up words.
Not everybody looks at words as numbers.
Says words are used by witches and warlocks. They're called spells. That's why they whip your ass in school if you didn't know your spelling, and they didn't want your ass to learn math because they knew if you learned some math, you were going to be a creator. They didn't want you to be a creator. They wanted to lull you with words, and words are nothing but spells, and they wanted to put your ass in spells so they can put your ass to sleep, because that's what spelling does. It puts your ass to sleep. That's what words do. Okay. But numbers, you create with numbers. And if you know math and you know law and you know the Bible is nothing but mathematics. The Bible is nothing but math. Wait, stop. The penal codes is created from the Bible. The penal codes is nothing but math. Go into the Bible is nothing but math. Look at the numbers, 34, 19. All of its numbers. What do you think Anthony Robbins, Carnegie, what's his name? Dale Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, Vincent Peale, all of these people, the rich man and the poor man, they got their books based off the Bible.
Understood.
And where did
you
the Bible
said something
come
earlier
wait,
about
wait.
Neo.
Where did the Bible come from? Wait, let me finish. Hold up. Where did the Bible come from? Because I bet you none of you know. Bet you not one of you, with all the studying, all the reading, and all the education and intelligence, you can't tell me where the hell the Bible came from. I bet you not one of you know.
Well, it's not a battle of the wits, sister.
No, it ain't got no doing with no battle of the wits.
It came from the Jews.
Oh, Jesus. Well, you show it.
My mama said that to me all the time, too.
Well, let me tell you, your mama don't know something. And let me tell you what she don't know. The Bible comes from ancient Kemet, based on the book of the living and the book of the dead. That's where it comes from. The baby Jesus is the baby Horus. Mother Mary is Isis. And if you don't believe it, go Google it and go back and look at it in the hieroglyphics. That's where the Bible comes from. Now, man that came in and added their little shit and taken away their little shit and put their little shit, and it tells you in there what is going to happen to them for adding and subtracting and deduction. And it did not come from the Jews, didn't come from the Arabs. Hell, there wasn't no Jews and no Arabs and no Greeks, none of that. It was nothing but tribes. There are no races. It's a lie and illusion they created for you to separate and divide you, to keep you distracted from the truth.
Can I ask you a quick question then?
You can ask me anything. Right on.
So which came first? Did Serapis come first, or did Osiris and Isis story come first?
It doesn't matter about the story. All you need to know is the right eye and the left eye. That's where it all came from. The Amun-Ra and the Horus. It's all about the right eye and the left eye. And that was telling you the way energy flows. If you open up your car right now, the hood of your car is one battery propelling your car. There's only one energy. If you look at the post, it has a negative post and it has a positive post. That tells you how energy flows. And if the energy is flowing positive, your car is driving well. And when it flows negative, your car is breaking down. It might be even burning up. That's why you can't stick the two together. because of the way the energy flows. The negative and the positive charge.
You said something earlier about Neo going backwards and how it, is one. What's your idea on imaginary numbers and how we use them today in like our feedback and prediction systems?
There is nothing but 9 numbers. First, the alpha is the 1. And everything begins again on the 1. And the 0 is the infinity. That's why you see the number 8. It's a little 0 sitting on another 0. And when you turn them vertically or horizontally, they're nothing but zeros going in all directions, meaning that God goes in all directions forever. That's why his number is 8888. And that's why man's number is 999. And why religion is 666. Well, let me hit you with a 69 because it's the same number. When it goes up, it's a 6. When it goes down, it's a 9. But it's the same number. And it tells you how it flows. Up is heaven. Down is Mars or man or Pluto. Up is Venus, heaven, love.
Sophia.
Yes.
Hi. My name's they know me as Joe from Cali. I'm from West Coast, California. And I feel everything that you're saying about the attack on the womb and kind of like how technology is playing in with this machine. But are you open to the idea of instead of being the one as the answer, are you open to the idea of us being like as a whole, believing as ourselves as God and goddesses? Not that we're the creator as in a God, like more than everyone else.
I know what
like
you're calling it. You are a co-creator because we can create. We can create a heaven.
Yes.
But we can create a hell. And that's called a co-creator with God. Meaning that man can go forward or he can go backwards in what he does. He can create and build, or he can destroy and tear down. That's why you see on TV people killing people and destroying and bombing and destructive. Or they're building and creating new technology, new things to help and heal. You can go either way. That's what the energy is telling you. It's your choice. You're the one that chooses.
Are you open to the idea though that it could possibly be not the one, like say one person saving us, but us as a whole waking up to the system?
That is what's going on. Look.
Okay, good.
I
just want to be on the same page.
No, listen, that is what's going on. That's why it's called a United Nations. That's why the matrix is so big, because it's showing that everybody is saving this world, not the white man, but everybody together. All there's no races, but all tribes of people are working in one as one. That's what the one was talking about. That he was showing you the way that this is the way that we all are ones. If you read the Matrix 4, that's what it's telling you. But you haven't read it, so that's why you don't know.
No, I agree. We're powerful in numbers. Instead of waiting around for some one person or some false prophet to do something, kind of like that, like the religious sense, it's more of the people waking up as one.
That's right. It starts with the man and right. You wake up and you be an example, and other follows you. Listen, I'm not making any mistakes. It's that you guys are calling and talking and you haven't read the work. It's just like somebody fumbling in the dark, but they got a flashlight at home, but they never used it. So now they're telling the person, could you guide me through the maze here, through the darkness? And I say, why do I need to? Hell, you got the flashlight at the house. Or you got the flashlight and you're not using it. So why the hell do I need to guide you? I already gave you a light. Turn the damn light on and see. Guide yourself. You don't need to be led. You don't need to be the blind led by the blind, or the dead bury the dead. That's what the whole Bible scripture was talking about. Why don't you wake up and use the light so you don't be led by the blind, or you don't be buried by the dead? Because that's what's going on here. The dead is leading the dead or burying the dead, and the blind is leading the blind. And where the hell are they leading you? Because you're like, hey, I can't see. Could you tell me if it's a road over here, or can I make a left turn over there?
Definitely. That's why we're all back here too. You know, we're trying to get away from all this stuff, and we're just, you know, back here building, and we're looking for answers from within. Now, you know, we're trying to, you know.
Yeah,
What
but I'm saying that
I
I'm
appreciate it.
anybody or wake anybody up or turn atheists into believers to lead them. All I'm saying is the matrix. This world is not what it appears to be. So why don't you investigate and explore and see what's really going on? That's what the matrix is telling you. Am I lying or not? The matrix is telling you to wake up.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, I'm giving you something to look at things differently. Because if you see this differently, then what else am I missing? Because you know what? Somebody they didn't teach me that. They gave me a piece of that, but they didn't give me the big picture. Wait a minute. Sophia is telling me something that I didn't see before. Oh, now I'm getting it. Now the light bulb is coming on. So now I can see the whole big picture. Now I can see the whole yard. Because now I can see because the light is on. You need a light bulb. You need a flashlight. But somebody can't make you turn the light on, the switch on, or use the flashlight. That's something you got to want to do. That's why I told you to go Google it, go look, go to YouTube, go look at shit, go examine. So that way you can see through the illusions, you can see through the lies. You can see that people that want your ass sleep is not going to try to wake you up. They can harvest you if you sleep. They can't harvest you if you're awake. They can't take your choices from you unless they can fool you into giving them to them. They already know the law. They can't make you do anything, but they can deceive you into giving up your choices. So I'm trying to wake you up and so you can say, no, that's my choice and I'm not doing that.
Sophia, if I can
Yes.
cut in. Hi,
Yes.
This is Empress Lou again from the West Coast. I just wanted to mention that a lot of us are here because we discovered that this what NASA and the shape of the Earth and what they were teaching us about the globe was actually a huge deception, and we all kind of came together through breaking that deception and discussing it further. And that kind of led a lot of us to, you know, the different deceptions and where we have to watch the veil, you know, covering over our eyes, because the flat earth deception was huge for some of us, or all of us, I would say, all of us that are here. That's how I met a lot of these brothers, is because we were, you know, connected through the deceptions, or through breaking the deceptions, and that's why we were all really excited. I know I was to hear.
Well, let me tell you something. I appreciate what you're saying, and I want to say something because I know where you're going. I want to tell you guys something. In another 70, maybe another 75 years, everybody that knows the truth about what's going on here is going to be dead. In another 75 years, maybe possibly 100, everybody that knows the truth is going to be dead. So if you guys, the millennials and the Gen X, do not get it, it's going to be pitiful here. That's right. If y'all don't find out the truth now, this is why the Matrix and Terminator was created, to wake you up so you can find out the truth before it's too late. Because the new world is coming, and it's going to be holograms, and it's going to be virtue, and it's going to be a whole nother world that these people that came here 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, because the Queen of England, she's 92 years old, her husband's 97. Now, those people, they've lived almost 100 years. You know what I'm talking about? So they know the truth that you guys will never, or myself, phantom. They seen the truth. They lived that truth. And all the stuff start changing because once a certain, once the baby boomers are gone, it's over. So if you guys don't see the truth now, it's going to be terrible for you. And I'm not joking. I'm telling the truth. You're going to remember that I spoke the truth here today. I just told you when the baby boomers are all going to be gone in 75 years to 100. They're all going to be gone. because they can live up to 120 years, the baby boomers. And you can look right now, Google it. Queen Elizabeth is 92. Her husband, Philip, is 97. And Philip is 3 years from 100. He's a whole century. He's been here a whole century almost. So he's seen all kinds of stuff, and he experienced all kinds of stuff. So all of this stuff that y'all are getting now is to trick y'all, to deceive y'all, because y'all are the ones that are going to be ruling the world coming up pretty soon. In less than 75 to 100 years, you'll see what I'm talking about. If you don't get it now, you're going to be in the matrix for sure.
Oh, we definitely with you, because you know, in just another couple years, you know, they coming out with the new IDs. You know, the what is it? The universal IDs. Whatever you have to scan.
Yeah, well, I was talking about it a long time ago. Remember on my interviews?
Hey, it'll be here in 2019. They said it would be by 2019. Back in, they've already. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
we're here in Florida.
Sure. I'm pretty sure it's going to be here, but spoke about it. The motion sensors, the virtual penal system. Wait till that comes. If y'all think you're scared now, wait till the virtual penal system comes. Hell,
what about the implantable biomicrochip? Is that already in effect?
The which one?
You know, with the Obamacare, you know, it came with the implantable biomicrochip.
They've been chipping children, dogs, and prisoners for years. And all they can do is track them. That's what they are. Chips are tracking devices. Everybody that has a credit card or debit card has got a tracker. Everybody that's got a cell phone has a tracker. You're all being tracked right now. Every time you buy something with a debit or credit card, the transaction is being tracked. Every time you move with your cell phone, your whole movement is being tracked.
Right, and it's pretty much what you're saying. Like they know your spending habits. They know where you go, how you've been there.
Everything. It's already recorded and tracked. That's the matrix. So I don't know what you're talking about the other one, the universal card, because all they're going to change, like I told you, they are bringing that universal card in, but it's for another reason. They want to make it a card where they can put everything together, where it all can be one, a database like Facebook. And that's why Mark Zuckerberg made billions of dollars, because he sold y'all's damn information to the CIA and the FBI and Homeland Security. They know all of your family members. They didn't already put they didn't put all their pictures in a scanner. Where now, that's why I'm trying to tell y'all that when you go to the airport, you don't need no paper no more. You ain't gonna need shit anymore after a while. In less than 20 years, you ain't gonna need nothing in your damn pockets. You ain't gonna need no money, nothing.
Hey, Miss Sophia, they showed that picture of that in the
They showed what? They showed what?
What you're talking about with the airports in the movie Total Recall on nigga that in the 80s about the airports.
Well, I'm pretty sure, because Total Recall came out of my book. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you think I'm joking, don't you? But I'm not. Predator.
Oh, I know you're not. I know you're not.
Stargate, X-Files, the logos. If you go in the book, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. It's all there. The graphics, the special effects, all of the logos, all of it's right in the book. I'm not bullshitting you.
Did you touch on, I don't know, because I had another call at Fire Station, touch on Black Panther yet with us?
The Black Panther. No, I haven't talked about the Black Panther, but I want y'all to get the book and go see the movie. My book has been out since 2010 for 8 years. The fans that have been my loyal fans, they know what's going on. If even cops in Homeland Security and FBI got autographed copies of my book, they know what's going on. People that are about the truth, they come and they tell me the truth. But you guys need to get it and see it, because you're not going to believe it until you get it and you see it. And go look at everything. Look at the year. Look at the date. Look at the copyrights. The copyrights are in the book. Look at everything.
The truth. We need to know the truth. That's why we ask you like sometimes very specific questions.
Miss
Yeah,
Stewart,
but you need to see the truth with your own eyes too.
Hi, Miss Sophia. My name is Nikki. I'm from California.
Yeah, hi Nikki. How you doing?
I'm good. I've been knowing all this stuff was gonna happen, and I understand that you wrote your book, but all the things that you have discussed today have been implanted in me since I was a child because we were being taught all these things that were gonna happen or that are happening now. As far as them trying to track us and all that, I've already seen what they've been doing. All those discount cards and all those cards is tracking all the purchases that we purchase, and they know what we buy, and they know where we're gonna be at with Google. They know they're following us like everywhere we go. Like my phone will tell me that I'm getting ready to go to work, and it's only
I know.
10 minutes to go.
Listen, that doesn't surprise me. I already know everything you're saying is true.
Yeah,
it's true.
I already know too. So
yeah, I know you do.
I have one more question. I have one more question. This is from Joe from Cali. He wants to know, since we are already woke, what do you suggest that we do to take action against all these things?
You can't take action against anything. All you could be is informed with knowledge, so you know what to do in case you get backed into a corner. You know how to get out, but you got to have knowledge, because God says, my people perish because of a lack of knowledge. Everybody gets killed or harmed or done in because they don't have any knowledge of what's going on.
But wisdom is applying the knowledge, so you need to be able to do something.
Well,
so
you need to know what's going on first, so you know what to do about it. You need to know what's going on, and then you got to think about what you want to do about it.
It's a little bit of an insult to our intelligence, because I know my brothers and sisters here, and we all research together.
I'm not insulting your intelligence. I'm here to teach. If your intelligence got insulted, that's because you took things personal when nothing is personal. I wasn't talking to you when I'm teaching. It's just like you talking to the universe out there. And anybody that wants to pick up any knowledge, pick it up, or the ones who don't, leave it. It got nothing to do with anything. It got nothing to do with you.
You can't do anything, but wisdom.
I didn't say you couldn't do anything. I said if you want to combat anything, you need to be armed with knowledge.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, we all are here because we all have some kind of knowing. We know something. That's why we all ended up being here. As a matter of fact, I just got here like 3 weeks ago, but I was happy to be here because of these people think like me. These people know what I know. So you being here is just a confirmation of things that we've already discussed.
Well, this is the deal. Someone asked me to come on and explain the Matrix and Terminator. That's my work. And that's what I'm doing. I'm not taking nothing from you, and I'm not giving you anything. All I'm doing is expressing my work. Now, you can take from that work, but you don't have to. You can leave it, because that's what it is. That's what water and food is all about. Nobody's trying to make you eat. Nobody's trying to make you drink. You can leave it. You don't have to eat. You don't have to drink. You can form your own plans of operation on how you're going to combat evil, because people want to hear people so they can gain some kind of knowledge to add to their knowledge, to complement their knowledge. And that's all I'm doing. Yes. I'm not trying to tear you down. I'm trying to tell you to wake the hell up. That's what I wrote like the Matrix for, to wake the hell up. I am the Oracle. Hell, yes, that's why the Oracle was created. She would have never been created if it wasn't me. If it wasn't me.
You telling us what we need to put us on the journey, the path, the things that we need to hear. We can't accept it. Like if Neo went and accepted the fact that she told him that he wasn't the one. He wouldn't have took the journey to find out that he was. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly. I know exactly what you're saying, because that's how it works.
Yes.
How the hell do you get on the journey to find out? It's like this. How would you know if you were a coward or if you had courage? The only way you would know if you were a coward or you had courage is when your ass got into a fight. When you got into a fight, I guarantee you were one or the other. You're going to find the courage to fight, or you're going to run your ass off. But until you get into that fight, you won't know what the hell you are, a coward or have courage.
That's powerful, Sophia. Oh my God.
I have to tell people this because people be thinking about shit, but they don't understand until they're faced with something. They don't know who the hell or what the hell they are until they're faced with it. That's when we come to the moment of truth, when something happens. Like, say, a disaster happens right now. Yeah, you've been reading about the damn disaster for a long damn time. You probably got the answer. But until your ass get into a disaster, you won't know what the hell you're going to do. You need to wake the hell up. You need to wake the hell up, because I'm trying to tell you something. You can read about shit, you can gain knowledge, but until your ass experience it, it's a whole nother ball game, baby.
Wow.
Trust and believe.
That's the same thing the Oracle told Neo. How I see the situation. That's cold.
It's the truth. It's the truth. It is the truth. And anybody who's ever experienced it out there know I'm speaking the truth. They know I'm speaking the truth. You can read it. You can read it.
I love
Let me
the
tell
way
you
you so
something.
strong with it too. I love you so strong with your truth, because the truth is blunt. It's aggressive. It don't have no way to be. You feel me? And it's straightforward. The truth is straightforward, and that's what you've been being straightforward. And people can take your straightforwardness as bluntness or aggressiveness or a threat sometimes. You feel what I'm saying? But it's definitely needed.
Yeah, because I'm not even body. I wrote The Matrix to wake people up. I just can't understand how in the hell can you give credit to somebody who's trying to harm your ass? That's what blows my mind. How in the hell can you give credit to somebody that wants to see your ass defeated and dead? The only reason they put out The Matrix and Terminator because they didn't know what the hell it was. If they knew what the hell it was, they would have never put it out. It was meant to wake you up. It was meant to be hidden in numbers, because they can't comprehend numbers. They comprehend words, but they can't comprehend numbers. The witches and the warlocks deal in spells and words and anagrams and writing backwards. And when you listen to music backwards, they're giving little subliminals, and the subliminals messages in commercials and shit with ice and sex and all kinds of stuff. But they don't deal in mathematics. Mathematics is creation. It's creating. Spells and words is tearing down. It's destroying. I'm telling the truth.
Yes, you're definitely right, because numbers created everything. I had asked the brothers one time which one was created first, was the alphabet or was numbers created first, and I believe everything was created out of numbers.
That's right. Everything that's created out of numbers. The numbers come first. Go into the Bible, and the Bible tells you numbers is vibrations, and upon the earth came the vibrations.
Yes, and that's what you said. That's why you was talking about the harmonic tones and frequencies and things of that nature. And it's about being in harmony, because harmonic tone is the music, is the vibration, is what creates. I mean, everything moves off of vibrations and frequency, tones, and things of that nature.
That's right. Everything that was ever created in the universe off of vibration, frequency. It wasn't no damn words. I guarantee you that.
Sophia, this is Stephen Harris calling from California. I just have a quick question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, your work is fantastic. I've seen the Terminator and one of the Matrices. Do you think when they developed this Sophia artificial intelligent thing, they were like named that after you?
Yeah, of course they were mocking me, because they know that I came up with the first artificial in the Matrix. And when you read, it's Ava, it's talking in the Third Eye book. And of course they're mocking me in the Black Panther movie when they say, "Hi, Sophia." What do you think they're doing in there? Once you read the Matrix 4 book and you look at look at the Black Panther. Yes, it's they naming the artificial, another machine, Sophia. They're naming another one, Sophia. That's what they're doing. They always want to name anything after the creator. You know that. They name, like, look at the Tesla car, named after Tesla.
Of the book or how much of your script would you say they stole? They stole it word from word, or did they change some things around to try to?
I'm not gonna answer that. Why don't you read and find out, and then
I
come
got you.
back and get me and tell me, Sophia, gosh, I see what they did to you. Why don't you do that?
Yeah, because this is new to me.
That
So,
would be better. No, but don't you see that would be better, because if you go in there and you look at the movie and you read the book and you can come back and you can say, wow, I see what the hell they did. To me, that's phenomenal when people come back, and people have done that. They've read the book and come to me, and I've done millions of interviews. I'm gonna be interviewing always. You can have me back on the show just to ask me questions. I even told the hostess to tell people to get the book and read it before I come on, so they can ask me questions that they don't have to ask the same questions that people ask me a million. You go on YouTube, I've answered that. I've done over 4,000 media interviews. I've been interviewing nonstop for 15 years, since ABC broke my story October the 17th, 2003. And guess what? About 2,000 of those interviews is the same damn questions that you're asking,
I imagine, yeah.
that I've already answered. Now that's real.
Yeah, it is. It's real because we should have did our due diligence and did our research, knowing that you was coming on the platform as well. You feel what I'm saying? And I apologize on the behalf of everybody, but it was still a pleasure having you here. You feel me? And hearing you express yourself, and so we can hear your point of views. You feel what I'm saying? So, can I ask you another question? I know I can because you already open. So, what I want to ask is, being that energy is transferred, and being the architect, and you are the architect of the script, right? And you being that you rewrote the ending of, say, Revelations, and restarted your timeline, and you operating within the timeline, would it be safe to say, because I'm a writer and a creator as well, and I understand the power and why in operating the time, and I know how you was talking about the time traveling with past, present, and future, and I know that doesn't the now is the only thing that matters, and that's what they control most of everybody in, is with the now. That's how they control our past, present, future, is with operating their nows, with bringing their dreams into the now. And I just want to know, is that something that you operate in, is the above, as above, so below, and bringing things into the now? Do you operate in now?
I don't know. I didn't rewrite anything. I didn't do any rewrites. Rewrites come from people who has never written anything.
No, I didn't mean rewrite. What I mean is, like you recognize the fact that the timeline of the ending of the Bible, or things of that nature, had to
I didn't
what you seen.
I didn't do
No,
any of
what you
that.
seen what would come. You know how you said that you seen what the second coming would come, and how he would act.
All I said was I cracked the codes. That's all I said, was I cracked the codes and extracted the knowledge. Do you know what a code breaker is?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I am, a code breaker. That's why.
Exactly.
It's called basic evolution, cracking the genetic code. I cracked the code. So if I cracked the code, I gave you some knowledge of what's going on. But I'm gonna go right now, because
I was just gonna
time for me to leave.
I was just gonna say too. I was gonna say I want to keep.
Yeah, I've been on for 3 hours.
Yeah, it's been 3 hours almost. I just want to say I appreciate you so much for coming. I really respect your work.
You're welcome.
I think if we do this next time, we're going to do it where at least 80% of the panel has knowledge of your books, so that we can kind of go into where you want to go. And
well, if they need to answer some of these questions, they can go to YouTube. I got like tons of interviews up where you can get those answers. Listen to some of the interviews or read the book, whatever shortcut you want.
Gotcha.
There are shortcuts. If you don't want to read, then listen to the interviews. If you don't want to listen to the interviews, read the book. But then when I come back on, please ask me some questions that you don't understand in the book, or something you heard on the interview and you didn't understand, but not the same thing I've heard a million times that I've already given answers to.
I appreciate your time,
Miss Sophia.
man.
Yes.
This is Brandon. I just wanted to let you know that even though it's been almost 5 years, it's always a pleasure to hear your voice again, and I can't wait to hear from you again. And I'm gonna do my due diligence of going back into those books and extracting some more information. But it's a pleasure to hear from you again.
Yeah, it's my pleasure too. I recognize you personally, and let's talk.
Yes, ma'am. I sent you an email also. Got it.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
I remember.
Okay.
I remember, and I acknowledged it. I
Yes, ma'am.
acknowledged it. All right.
Thank you, Sophia. I
And
appreciate
I'm
you.
coming back on again. So.
Okay, sweetheart. I
yes.
appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, eh?
You're welcome. I'll be back.
Okay, we'll talk soon. Okay,
Bye.
take care. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Family.
Oh, hang on a second, bro. Hang on a sec, brother.
Woo! Hey, Sean.
Hang on, bro. Hang on a second. I think Sophia hasn't. She doesn't know how to detach from. I don't want her to be linked because then she won't be able
Sean,
to.
are we still live? Are we still live though?
I don't think so. I told allergic to cut the live feed.